2K Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the NBA.
Welcome aboard, everybody. This is Wednesday Night Basketball of the NBA on 2K Sports with Greg Anthony, Chris Webber, and David Aldridge, Kevin Harlan. And we have a surprise guest, folks. Here he is, the four-time All-NBA First-Teamer, MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, NBA champion, which he's probably most happy about, most proud of, Kevin Garnett. Thanks so much for joining us for the game.
Man, thank you for having me, man. Shout out to 2K. You know what it is, 2K? Right. OBF all day, you know? Yeah.
Now, you can't play 2K while we're doing 2K.
No, we can't. We can't play it right now, but I'm waiting. Shout to Shaq on this cover. Shout to my dog, Shaq. That's dope. That's what's up. Gas Shaq is on there. Right. Love that. That's what's up. These are deserving, man. That's what's up.
Looking at Boston, they took a win in their last game against the Memphis Grizzlies.
And how about the defensive adjustments in that one? Their communication was brilliant all night.
But they really worked well together. They trusted each other. That's how you get stops.
And a look at the starters for the Hornets. The forwards are Kidd-Gilchrist and Kaminsky. Walker and Batum teaming up in the backcourt. And it's Howard in at the center position. Offensive rebound. Pass to Kaminsky. Back to Kidd-Gilchrist. Kaminsky kicks to Walker. Outside Kidd-Gilchrist. Passes to Batum. From beyond the arc. Connects from three-point range. Batum's got himself going there. His first points of the game on the deep ball. Kevin, when you entered the draft, no player had made the jump from high school to the NBA in 20 years. And what were your emotions when your name was called number 5 overall?
Oh, man, I remember that. It was
17 years old?
17, just turning 18 at the time. I was in like a whirlwind, to be honest. A lot of people don't know it's a lot of stuff that goes up into the draft. You know, things that I wasn't aware of. You're training twice a day. You know, you're trying to get ready for the combine. You're trying to get ready for pre-draft. You got to do workouts. This is all new to me. On top of still going to high school, trying to, you know, graduate and stuff. So I figured it out. I hustled and I bustled and I juggled a bunch of different things. But once your name is called, it's almost like the culmination. It all comes together. It's a special moment for just you and your family and your loved ones and ones around you. And when my name was called, it felt like the world had stopped and everything was going very slow.
And Kevin, welcome to the 2K team. I didn't realize how much you love NBA 2K.
Oh, man, you know 2K is always loud, man. I'm a super fan. Man, this game is going all over the place, bro. Like, seriously, like, I'm geeked to see what's next, man. They got everything down. I'm sitting here watching all the little small intangibles that come with the game. I'm watching the game grow. I'm watching how better players are getting. I'm watching the online play, man. It's lit. It's lit. I can't wait to see this.
No flow to their offense at all yet. I mean, just 1 for 5 from the floor to start the game.
Here's Walker, and a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. Kevin, one of the biggest moments of your career, the 2008 championship with the Boston Celtics. Talk about the camaraderie among that group of players.
You know, Kev, I can tell right away that we had something special getting together right in September, right before the year started. We started working out together. We started sharing concepts and how we saw the game. Right away, I can tell that the appetite was there. 1 through 15 guys. It's very rare that you're able to get that many guys in that early. As soon as Danny, signed guys, we were in, we were lifting, we was just, around each other, understanding each other, playing a lot. We was playing a lot. Then, fortunately, we was able to go off to Rome that year. Rome was a good distraction for us because we had to lean on one another.
To bond a little bit.
Seriously, because, none of us spoke Italian. If we wanted to go somewhere, we was always 3-4 deep, and no one was asking and no one was telling us to be with each other. We were just naturally being with each other so much that whenever you saw us to the restaurants, 9, 10 of us, that carried over to practice. Then we got 2 teams that are very competitive. Doc's letting us be who we want to be, and he letting us play with passion, and our practices are over the top aggressive, and to the point where it's too competitive to where he has to come in and separates us and, take the balls and cut the lights out and get us out of here. To the point where he just lets us go. Now we start bringing concepts to him. He started trusting our IQs. Now we start putting a couple things on defense, Thibodeau's in there. He's implementing stuff. When this flow is going like this, you don't know that you're going to win it all, but you're on the waves of something special. Right. And that's how that felt.
Count that one. And Kev, you think of the great ones. You, Kobe, Jordan,
Timmy,
yeah. How about him? They worked harder than anybody else, Kevin.
And what you learn is that the similarity or the parallel that you all have is an inner animal that you never speak about. We're all a little off. We're all a little dark, but that's what pushes you through pain. That's what pushes you through tough moments. When someone says you can't, when someone says this is not possible, this is unreal, that no one's ever done it, that's the moment you're looking for. The moment someone told Kobe that he couldn't get over 50, 60, something Jordan couldn't do, he was driven in that. And if Phil wouldn't have stopped him, he probably would have reached 100 points.
He probably would have, yeah.
He did Wilt Chamberlain a favor. And that's just real. He was in that type of mode. We all share that passion. We all share that drive. And the ones that have that inner darkness, we all understand.
It's like a split personality, huh?
It's almost like another level.
Yeah. And there's the call on Kyrie Irving. That is his first foul of the game. And Kid Gilchrist kicks to Walker. Again, the Hornets score.
And as good as Walker is from mid-range, that's the shot you want him taking if you're the D. No threes, no layup.
Kevin, of all the people you've faced, who is the toughest guy for you to score against? Down low, let's pick that geography. Who is the toughest to score against down there?
Listen, I know a lot of people. I've always said Rasheed Wallace. I've always said Tim Duncan. They're probably the 2 that brought a different level of play out of me. But shout out to Cliff Robinson, man. Cliff Robinson, I don't know if people know this, but Cliff Robinson, man. Cliff Robinson was one of the better defenders in the post. He was very strong. He was very long. He didn't go for any counters. He was very disciplined. He was well prepared because he was a veteran. The refs let him get away with a lot, touching and grabbing. He knew when to be physical in some positions. He knew to do what we call work early. He would meet you at the three-point line, and he would be fighting you, and you would post up probably like a step outside the three-point line. Like, he was really good at some of his techniques and how he was able to control the post. After Cliff left the game, I watched a lot of his tape, and I took a lot of his
no kidding.
I had to, because it was so effective against me that I was able to use it against other post players on the defensive end.
I never knew that story.
Dennis Rodman was another guy I watched a lot. Akeem Olajuwon I watched a lot, because these guys were laterally very similar to my makeup. Akeem Olajuwon was long. He was able to laterally move with you. I was laterally able to move with guards, and able to laterally to slide with some of the forwards and some of the more laterally gifted power forwards. And with that, able to get my feet together, being able to block shots, challenge the rim, stuff like that. Things that, if you're going to get better at something, you got to go and reach and find the great ones that did it before you and take it, and then I was able to apply it when I did those things.
Kevin, we see some coaches get extremely emotional on the sideline. Others take a more even-keeled approach, more calm on the sideline. Which coaching style would you prefer to play for when you were in your prime? Did you want a coach who was animated, or did you want a coach that was just kind of settled on the sideline?
You know what? I like the coach that was settled on the sideline. You know, I like to think that great coaches are going to be able to coach you in practice, and then during the games, you know, it's about the product and what you put out on the floor. You know, coaches that have understanding, coaches that have vision, coaches that understand the game, you know, understand that this is a game of runs, you know that it's a game of momentum, and has plays for those momentums and those times, or coaches that I've always gravitated to and understood.
Like Doc was kind of in between, when he little bit of emotion, but he could also have a calm demeanor on that side.
Doc was on fire. I'm sorry. There was nothing calming about Doc.
I'm trying to cover Doc's back here.
No, shout to Doc. Doc would rip your head off if you wasn't supposed to. But you know what? You need to play with that edge. You needed to know that if you wasn't in your spot, 1 through 15, you understood that you were supposed to be there, and it's good to play with that. I think that you don't want to be out there playing like, you know, this is no big deal. Every play is a big deal. And no play, absolutely. And you know what? That severity, and you play with that importance, and, you know, knowing that you're playing for the next guy. So, you know, that's important.
He dishes it to Howard. Feeds it to Batum. Back to Howard. Shoots over Monroe. No good off the back of the rim.
Yeah, good interior D there. Prevents the deuce.
Oh, wonderful anticipation. He reads the play perfectly. Then with the quick reaction time.
Now, here is Irving. His last outing, we saw him pour in 22. Clock at 6. Now, here's Tatum. They get it back. Smart passes to Irving. And here is Horford. 14 points from him the last game against Memphis.
Yeah, but it wasn't all about himself. He also did a great job at creating for his teammates. So many assists tonight.
Now here's Smart. Picked by Horford. Again, the Celtics good for 2. Well, the fans out there watching this, Kev, can you talk about why it's so incredibly difficult to win an NBA title, to become a champion? Why is it such a tough process?
Well, just imagine having a goal and you're not pursuing the goal by yourself. Say you and somebody else.
Relying on somebody else.
Relying on somebody else, okay? So let's just say you and someone are doing something, to walking up a hill. Y'all getting ready to go walk up a hill. Well, the speed in which you want to walk at might be different from the other person. And what you realize about when you're trying to reach any goal is that you have to be connected. You have to be understanding of, we're going to walk up here together like at this speed, like this, or we're going fast, we're going slow. It has to be a great level of communication and understanding. At the same time, you have to have the same work ethic, because you have to understand you're together. And you don't get to go at this level and leave someone behind. You have to actually, you got to pull them, you got to keep up, whatever it is. All this goes into trying to win.
It sure does. That's right. There's the screen. Here's Morris. And Baines kicks to Rozier. And he banks in the layup.
And they've scored several times already here in the first quarter on the inside.
Hornets trail by 4. Carter Williams with it. Now the pass to Hernan Gomez. Here's the dish to Lamb. He feeds it to Zeller. And they turn over the 24-second buzzer, signaling the shot clock violation. As we approach the playoffs, let's see how the East is shaping up. Taking a look at Boston. Right now, they've acquired the second-best record in the conference. And, of course, Charlotte. Quite a few spots down the ladder right now.
And, you know, for the Hornets, they've had their chances to kind of separate themselves from the pack this season, but so far, they haven't been able to capitalize on those opportunities.
And it's surprising, because good teams usually feast on those chances to move up in the standings. They haven't appeared truly hungry to want to be a top team in this league. Kevin,
you were always known as wanting to play and always wanting to practice. You were a gym rat. What did you do when a coach would ask you maybe to take a breather? Let's sit out this game. Let's rest up. Would you welcome that? Would you just say, I'll let you know when I can't go? Or how would you handle that situation?
You know what? I've always asked the coach to respect the way I get ready for games. I've always asked him to respect the way I approach the game. I've always asked the coach to respect me and my expertise of knowing my body. I'm very, very vocal. Listen, if one person needs rest and it's me, I know how to raise my hand. I know how to say I need some rest. But, you know, I'm a person who likes to push through a lot of things. I'm a person who understands rest, don't get me wrong. But at the same time, I'm a person who understands that practice makes perfect. And if I can work on something for as long as I can to make something better, because I know at the end when I need it, especially when I used to call it dial up. When I call, I need the answer.
Kevin, especially back in Minnesota, you have some Hall of Fame battles with a guy named Tim Duncan. Talk about what those games, what those matchups were like.
Timmy's very crafty, man. Our battles used to just, especially as young guys, man. Young guys trying to establish themselves in a gritty league at the time, full of some older, dominant names at the time. Michael Jordan, Elijah Malone. You know, the time where the forward position was a very, very tough position. But Timmy was one of them ones, man. Used angles very well. Was very long. Had a lot of counters. Very strong, and had an inner beast that people really didn't really talk about because you didn't really necessarily hear or see it. But man, Timmy's one of the best, man. It's not by coincidence. He's one of the ones.
Looking at the last game for Charlotte, it was a loss to the Bulls.
And really, man, they played their hearts out. Missed a couple opportunities down the stretch, and that was the difference.
Absolutely right, Greg. That's all it takes. A play here, a play there, a detail that isn't accounted for, it stings.
Baines with the block. Here's Rozier. Carter Williams covering. 41 seconds left in the first. Here's Morris, and he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line.
Wow, look at Morris, just using that big body of his to draw contact. The defense has a tough time matching up with him.
He made the only free throw attempt he had earlier in the game.
Shooting two.
That free throw good for Morris.
Wow, the shooting of Morris provides his team with is crucial. Just a real valuable part of this team.
Charlotte making a switch here. Stone's checked in. And Morris drops them both. 35 seconds left here in the opening quarter. They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've gone a long time without a bucket.
Now here's Lamb. He's covered by Brown. Lamb dishes to Stone. Kicks to Monk. Looking to end the run. Rebounded by the Celtics. Rozier the pass to Brown. And two free throws coming up, unable to get that one to go with all the contact.
Oh, Brown is just fearless, Kevin. I mean, especially when it comes to going right into the contact.
The Celtics shooting their fourth and fifth shots at the foul line in the game.
Now, gentlemen, two shots. Loose shots.
First free throw is good.
And Brown is just an exceptional player. Really love whenever he shows off his athletic ability.
And he makes both free throws. From deep three-point range, he got it up that time, but it wouldn't fall for him. And so it's Boston, holding on to an 11-point cushion as we get ready to take a break. They're playing a bruising game inside, and it's working for them. Back to the action after this word. And before the game, we heard from Kemba Walker. He talked about his mentality when he steps out onto the floor.
Play free. Just play like playing street ball. Just have fun. Just play the game that you've been playing, forever.
Infectious enthusiasm. You see it every time he steps on the floor. And welcome back. It's been all one-sided so far through the first quarter as our second quarter gets underway. And for the Celtics here, they've been putting on a show, guys.
I think they play great D and not giving up anything easy early on.
Yeah, closing down the lane, closing out on perimeter shooters. Interesting first quarter.
We've got Aaron Baines. Rozier's out there with Brown. And it's Marcus Morris. That's the Boston Five. Kevin, over the years, we've seen a number of super teams develop, and in the Warriors' case, it's not the big three, it's the big four. Is this a trend you see continuing? You did it in Boston.
Man, look.
You were the original big three.
It seems like it, eh? Right.
You were the original big three.
You know what? It's like an innovative type of thing, right? I didn't even know that we were doing that. Right, because LeBron come back and do what? LeBron goes to
Miami. He's the big three right down there. Yeah.
And then what? Then it just starts morphing into these different things, right?
KD to Golden State.
Right. Yeah. Oh, man.
What do you think of that?
I think this is pretty much the norm. You know what? Listen, I think KD took a lot of heat for it, but when you really think about what he's doing, is that, let's say 20 years from now, when he sits back and he wants to talk to Steph, he wants to talk to Draymond, he wants to talk to Clay. These are all going to be three greats with him. I'm just talking about those three guys. He's playing with three other greats. I'm sorry. If you had a chance to play with three other greats in the prime, Kev, you're going to do that. And if you don't, then something's wrong with you.
So it's Boston now, following the three-pointer by Malik Monk. They set the screen. 6 on the shot clock. Here's Rozier. 5 points in the game. And KG, when you were bringing those greats together like you had in Boston, the intersection of you and Doc and Paul Pierce and Ray Allen, all these guys together, everything was aligned.
But you got to go through something to be able to appreciate something. And I like to think that with the joining of myself and Ray Allen and Paul Pierce going to Boston, that we all had to have a journey up until that point and go through something and feel something, have something feel left out. We always achieved when we all came together. Awards, countless all-star achievements. But then when it came to total winning and what we all do this for, we was all vacant. And that's what we all shared. And we all shared the same appetite for that, Kev. And I'm telling you, man, when we all got together, we all knew never to let each other down. And we all gave each other 100%.
What a time. And here is Monk, following Marcus Morris's three. The shot by Monk is no good.
And you know what? You can't get a better screen. Frees him up beautifully, but he just fails to capitalize.
The best laid plans, right? Well, I tell you right there, though, that's one they'll take every single time.
And low percentage look on that one. Not sure what he was thinking.
Sometimes you get a little outside of yourself. You have to be a little more disciplined.
And we've got an update here, so let's catch up with David Aldridge.
Kevin, Celtics coach Brad Stevens is known for getting the best out of his players. He said every NBA player has an elite strength. Some of them have 10 of them. And those guys are the very best in the league, right? But every one of them is here for a reason. And there are times where you can really soar with that skill. Kevin?
And that's why Stevens is already one of the best coaches in the league, David. You've talked about him for a long time, getting maximum results from every one of his players. Here's Brown. No good off the front iron.
The defense recognizing the situation and getting right in his face once he got close to the bucket.
Jaylen Brown is out of UC Berkeley. He has sought out the mentorship of greats like Isaiah Thomas, the original Isaiah Thomas, the first Isaiah Thomas. How key is that for young players, you think, Kevin, to tap into your knowledge? Talk to an Isaiah Thomas or a Shaq.
It's important, man. The OGs have the knowledge. You know, we like to call the YGs, this younger generation. And what you get from an OG is that he's going to give you stuff that intangibles, things parents, relatives, family can't give you, things that go in the locker rooms, things that, you know, that helps you prepare. When you get knowledge like this, you have to apply it. You have to use it to the best of your ability. More importantly, you have to see how it fits. You know, you'll get some advice from a great, and at some point, you have to see how it relates to you and your life. And then, and we like to say in our league, the way you give back, or the way you pay an OG back is that when you become an OG and you see a YG, you give them those same jewels that some OG gave you at one point.
Kevin, you were so successful jumping from high school to pros. What do you think about the current situation now, that the age of 19, the minimum to go to the draft?
You know, I'm always be a fan of the younger kids being able to have the opportunity. I don't like when you put parameters. I can see if college was really teaching these kids and really giving them a solid situation to be able to have something to defer to. But, you know, these kids are not learning at the rate that you would like them to learn in college. And plus, they're not staying in college to these great institutions to be able to apply some of the things they're learning. So I just think that they need...
They're basketball players.
They're basketball players, but they should have the opportunity to take advantage of if you're able to play at 17, 18 like I was. Not saying that every kid's going to have that, but you have obviously the D-League. You have all these multiple leagues throughout the world and where kids go to play. You know, some kids have missed out just because of that 1 year and some mishaps. And you sit here, you can say, you know, for business is good for this. Listen, the business is what it's going to be. We need to develop and have these kids be professionals more than anything. We need to grow these kids from a skill level and an appetite level. Our game was built off for one to be better than the ones that's come before us. You know what I'm saying? When Lou Alcindor came in here, he was, a.k.a. obviously Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, he was more encouraged to beat out Wilt Chamberlain and Bill Russell more than anything. And then that starts to trickle down from the effect of from Jordan wanting to be better than Larry Bird and Magic to Cole wanting to be better than, you know, it's the same thing. It's being trickled down. And when I think of greatness, I think, you know, it's going to follow. It's going to be shadows, and at some point it's going to mimic.
Here's Irving. That's tipped.
Now, the length of Kid Gilchrist, that's what allows him to catch up with these shots. A sensational shot blocker from behind.
Now Walker. He had an 18-point outing in the last game against Chicago.
And he also looked to attack at the defensive end of the floor. 3 steals in that game.
And the basket by Kaminsky. And KG, so great to see you. It takes me back. It really does.
A lot of people don't know, man. We got real original ties, man.
Back to the beginning.
95, man. My original man right here.
Here he was, man. You were a thrill a minute, I'll tell you that.
Man,
a thrill a minute.
Now look at us. 21 years later, dog. Man, can you believe
We're still
this?
standing.
We are. They haven't caught on yet. Don't say it.
Okay. Okay. Al Horford, a player who doesn't dominate any one category as a big man, but KG has very few weaknesses. He's fundamentally sound.
He's very effective, man. Al Horford knows what he is. He's very solid with what he does, sets great picks. He's able to create space between him and his defender. If you watch him, he's gotten better with his shot. He's gotten better with his three-point shot. He's able to shoot it at rapid style now. Being in Atlanta, being in a kind of a system where he was able to play kind of 4 guys, 1 in, and he would be more perimeter. He's really developed a perimeter shot now. It's really helped him. Now he's able to put the ball on the floor with a shot fade and go to the basket, make, you know, other passes to guys. Really helped that whole system up there. Boston is a threat, but without Al Horford's play, his inside play, and his, you know, able to go out and hit threes, they're not the same team without him.
Quality person, too.
Absolutely,
yes.
Man. No better locker room leader. He's one of these guys that, you know, when you talk about men, you know, you want to know that men can stand up and speak like men. He's one of those guys. He's one of those guys that's going to put on the table, and we are going to be in here speaking as men as it should be.
Kevin, it's been said that some guys hated to play against you. Is there someone you hated to play against for whatever reason?
No.
You enjoyed every jump?
I enjoyed every competitor because on the offensive side of the ball, I was always challenged when to use counters or what type of moves I was using. I took a lot of pride in having a variety of moves for different types of defenses, and each guy is going to bring out a different side of the offense in you. And then turning around and then being that defender and being able to guard the post player or the post or whatever the post player was or whatever. Rasheed Wallace was always a tough guard. Tim Duncan was always a tough guard. Zach Randolph was always a tough guard. Chris Webber, Dice, Karl Malone.
Great names. Now here's Howard. He's been playing a big part of their offensive scheme, averaging around 15.5 points a game. Shots good by Walker. And Kevin, you've recently gotten a chance to do more TV. Your show Area 21 has been tremendous, and the critics love it. Talk about this chapter of your career.
Well, it was something that I wasn't planning on, but, Turner brought me a great concept, and it fit the mold of what any man cave is, and that's really what it is. But the fact that we can go in, watch games on multiple channels, see multiple games, articulate it, give it from a perspective of a player, coming fresh out of this generation of players, giving understanding to this generation of players is very important because these players now are very different. Teaching these young players, still being mentors of these players, very important. And still loving this game. It's still a beautiful game. Man, the game is growing. I'm watching these kids do all types of different stuff, man. The creativity in our game now is so heightened. So, yeah, I'm having a bunch of fun, which is one thing I never forgot. The piece of advice you've always told me, man. So you continue to enjoy what you do, and it'll show. And I'm hoping that I'm making you proud of that, Kay. I'm enjoying what I'm doing, man.
You're an incredible ambassador to all of those things. The game, the fun of life. You capture a lot of the fun of life.
I'm trying, man. I'm trying. I'm enjoying it. So, hopefully it shows.
He's still looking to get into a groove this quarter.
Batum wide open. He fired. The shot's good on the assist by Walker. Batum's got it all tied up now for the Hornets. Boston shooting a pretty low 34% thus far. Now here's Irving. He's got 5. And the basket by Horford. And the Celtics lead by 2. Kevin, you accomplished everything individually as a teammate. Anything that you wish you would have done, any player that you wish you would have played with, any regret in that form that lingers with you in retirement?
No, nothing lingers. Obviously, you sit back and think about it. I would love to play with Cole for a year or got to, team, at least play in the U.S.
You had a chance. Wasn't there like a rumor one time?
It was.
Going to the Lakers?
My connection with Paul was just the opportunity when I waited. It's what it was. But, Cole,
you wouldn't have traded the Paul Pierce thing for anything?
No, I wouldn't have, because Paul and I are true brothers. The connection, and then the team, Ray, my connection with Doe and then Doc and all that. So I wouldn't have given that up for anything. But if I could have played with one person, probably would have been Cole. Summertime, I say USA because that's when you get to play with each other and all that. And you get to kind of beat up on everybody else and be USA or whatever. So that would have been super fun. But it's all good. Shout to Mama, you know what it is. But I have no regrets, man. I left everything on the floor. I enjoy watching the game more than ever now, dog. I'm not even going to front. I enjoy having my popcorn, my little ritual, my boys, and we sit back and watch the game and loving the game.
Yeah.
As off the mark as he has been, they're a little lucky to be in front.
Shot's good by Walker.
Their third three-pointer in a row.
Boston trailing. Outside Irving. Again, Irving missing.
And offensively, they've gotten stuck on the perimeter, falling in love with the jumper.
And KG, I have to say, a pleasure to have you with us here tonight, providing your great insight and intellect into these broadcasts. Thanks so much for being with us on the show, and I hope you come by again.
Man, K-Hall, anytime you need me, man, you let me know, man. I'm yours, man. You know what it is.
The great, the champion, Kevin Garnett. What a treat it is, Greg, to have KG with us. Always offers so much insight. Played the game for an amazing 21 seasons.
Yeah, when he first entered the league, everybody was wowed by the athleticism. But what became more apparent really early on were the instincts for which he had for the game. And that's what he brings, I feel like, to the broadcast.
And this is his first trip to the line tonight. Looking at who's out there now for the Celtics. Ojale is checked in for Monroe. Morris comes in for Tatum. And it's Larkin in for Marcus Smart.
Mind the lanes. Mind the lanes. One shot.
That free throw good from Kyrie Irving.
If you ask me, Irving has quickly ascended into one of the league's best players. I mean, a fast, lethal point guard with a beautiful jump shot. What else can you ask for?
Here's Bacon. Dishes to Zeller. Count it. His second make in 4 attempts.
Look, he has a good feel for the painted area. Zeller, never in a rush, very deliberate with his moves.
Pick by Horford. Here's Irving on the money from 12 feet away. Irving's got 10 points.
Well, he struggled out of the gate, but now he's really cooking in the second quarter.
Just 1 second between the shot clock and game clock. And here is Graham. He averages about 5 points a game. Screen by Howard. Graham kicks to Walker. And again, Charlotte with the triple.
When Walker's feeling it, you're in trouble. He can take over the game with his scoring.
The shot misses. And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Thanks, Kevin. Kyrie, they got themselves going in the second quarter. How do you get control of the game back?
It starts with not getting the ball out of the net. You know, we got to get stops, and it starts in that end. That's where it's really going to start for us. And we just got to continue to compete. That's all.
Kyrie, thanks a lot. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, Dave, thank you. And time now for the halftime break with the third quarter soon to follow. Right here on 2K Sports.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back, folks. Ernie Johnson here along with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. We're going to break down all the action from the first half. For Charlotte, it was a challenging first quarter. They were sleepwalking their way through most of the period and wound up staring at an 11-point deficit by the time it was over. Moving on to the second quarter, big-time momentum shift as they came out blazing, wiping the deficit away and now lead by 2. Kenny, let's get your take on Charlotte.
Well, there was a big spark from the bench in the first half. Sometimes you're hoping for your reserves to come in and just hold court, but they didn't do that. They actually got better.
And Shaq, your thoughts on the Celtics?
Well, they shot under 40% in the half. That tells the story right there. Defense deserves some credit for disrupting them a little bit, but they need to counteract with more creativity on offense. Fewer isolations, more movement, better shot selection.
And that is just about going to wrap it up as the second half is moments away. Down to Kevin Harlan and the rest of the crew.
Welcome back to Boston, the buildings of the financial district visible in all their glory. Welcome back, everyone. The second half about to get underway, and it's been a close one so far. We've seen Kemba Walker really having a great game.
Yeah, so far they haven't found an answer for him, a scoring machine here in that first half.
Oh, well, he's a tricky cover. He does a good job of sensing the defense, making the right move at the right time.
Well, you look around the NBA, and there are some incredible athletes. Chris, in your opinion, which players in the league right now are the most physically imposing when you see them in action?
3 people come to mind. First, DeAndre Jordan, just his size and stature, and then when you see him run like a little fella and jump with the best of them, it is so intimidating seeing him out there on that court. LeBron, I mean, you still might say he has the best basketball body ever, being that 6'7", 6'8" frame, whatever he goes by with a bunch of muscle behind it, being able to use his quickness and strength to get to the post, you just have to love it. And then that's the Cooper, one of the most unique players we've seen with his length, his size, Mr. Stretch Armstrong, but he gets it done on both ends of the floor, and I just think his unique body style and his skill set makes him fun to watch as well.
Tipping off the second half, here's Steve Clifford's 5. Kaminsky and Howard, the tall front line. Batum and Kid Gilchrist, the rangy wings. And it's Walker in at the point guard.
He's not especially strong near the basket. All the defense did was make their presence felt, and it was enough to make him feel uncomfortable releasing that one.
Now, here's Walker. Howard. And it's Howard finishing it off.
Just amazing work from Walker. Really zipping the rock fast to the wide open man.
And here in the second half of play, we're just over a minute in. Smart with the ball. pick by Horford. Smart kicks to Horford. To the paint. And Irving gets it to go on the assist by Horford. Irving's got 12. As we approach the fourth quarter, still anyone's ball game.
Yeah, neither team able to create much of a cushion.
There's the pick. And a wide open look for Walker. And another three for Charlotte.
Well, the shooter of Walker's caliber, I mean, you can't allow him to shoot with his feet set.
For Boston, they've gone 2 of 3 from the field to start the second half. Irving against Walker. And it's sent back by Howard. 2 minutes into the second half of play now. Outside, Walker. An easy 2 points on the layup. And now a 4-point Hornets lead.
They are just killing them on the interior.
Boston shooting under 40% all in all for the game. The feed to Horford. Smart, wide open, he fires. And the 3 off target.
Look, it would be a huge boost for them if he could start knocking these down.
Walker against Irving. Walker dishes to Howard. Well, Chris, you can't shortchange this roster, but their coach, Brad Stevens, one of the best in the game.
Well, you remember his 6 years at Butler? He took them to the title game twice. What he's done with this team is no less impressive.
He's getting his first free throw attempt of the night right now.
Two shots.
Free throw good, Howard.
Now, when you watch the Hornets play, it seems like they play with a chip on their shoulder. I mean that in a good way. They play like they have something to prove. They have a very self-driven team.
And both free throws good for Howard.
I love watching Howard still doing his thing out there. A nightly double-double threat.
They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Too many empty possessions. Right now, they need a basket.
And there's the call on Howard. That'll be his second foul of the game. Here's Smart. He has 7. Outside Irving. Stolen by Walker. Howard against Monroe. And it's Howard finishing it off.
And Howard can still wreck the rim when he gets in deep.
Here's Irving. 12 points for him. Just as you said, win or lose, you know that this Hornet team is going to battle you for all 4 quarters. They don't give up.
Well, a lot of that camaraderie has developed on this roster because of that. They know they don't have superstars and big names, but it doesn't deter them. They know they have a small margin of error.
Okay, well, let's go down to David Aldridge for a report from the sideline.
Guys, with the Hornets' length and mobility at the 2 through 4 positions, the team switches a lot defensively. Coach Steve Clifford said, "You have to deal with mismatches at times, but it makes defense simpler." Those guys, they're all big enough, strong enough, and competitive enough that they're going to battle. Kevin?
And having that kind of versatility on defense is huge. D.A., thank you so much. And here's Batum after Jason Tatum getting his shot to go from deep. Outside, Walker. Howard with the screen on Irving to the inside. And Howard with the stuff.
When you have Walker handling the pick and roll, you have to feel confident. Just masterfully shredding the D with his passes.
Celtics trail by 5. Outside Irving. Another miss by Irving.
One made 3 for him for the game. Does he focus closer in? Let's see.
Kid Gilchrist. The shot's good on the assist by Walker. Walker's got 6 assists here tonight.
And the defense's goal has to be keeping MKG away from the rim. That's when he's dangerous.
Now here's Tatum. 11 points in the game.
You can't fault him for taking the three when he's that wide open. You can't pass that shot up.
Now Walker, screened by Howard. And it's Walker penetrating. Terrific design on the pick play, and he lays it in. And it's a 9-point Charlotte lead. Now a timeout called by Boston. Chris, you've been on both sides of the coin for this. When it comes to a veteran presence in the locker room, just how important is that? You know, when you were a young player getting it, and maybe as an older player when you were preaching.
When I was a rookie, Kevin, I needed a veteran just as much as I needed an assistant coach. They were that important to me because when you think about it, that's how you learn your routine.
Wow.
What to eat before a game, how many hours to eat before a game, how to recoup after a game, how to say no to your friends and family for playoff tickets because, you know, you're at home and you got to buy 75 tickets. You know, just kind of how to navigate through life. That veteran player can help. And I think that's one thing when the game kind of got lost in years past, it was because we lost that veteran presence in the locker room. And so, to me, the veteran presence is everything. You know, Chris Mullin getting on me because I'm a rookie. I mean, I would have paid him to do that. So, you know, it's really cool because just as much as they get on you, they help you and they explain the game, help you out with life and everything else. So it's like a big brother relationship.
Oh, that's good to hear.
The D doing everything they can to cut him off on his way to the hoop.
Brown the pass to Tatum. Nice ball movement by Boston. Over in the corner, Brown. Up and in on the layup.
And Brown is superb at just keeping focused. Despite what the D throws at him, he gets the job done.
Now here's Walker. 21 points in the game. Hernangomez kicks to Lamb. Hernangomez passes to Monk. 4 on the shot clock. Releases. Pass to Lamb. Takes a 3. And it's the Hornets another 3.
A good board there, Kevin, but overall they're getting slightly out-rebounded.
Here's Rozier. He has 5. And here is Brown. They set the pick. Off the pick. And finished off by Brown.
You gotta love how Brown finishes strong, driving fast and hard to the cup for the rim rocking Shazam.
Pass to Lamb. He kicks it to Kaminsky. And another 3 for Charlotte.
The defense is far too slow to close out on those three-point attempts.
Celtics trail by 9. Here's Rozier. He gives the team some steady offense, a bit under 10 points a game. There's the foul. It's on Jeremy Lamb. That'll be his second foul of the game. Boston making some changes. Aaron Baines comes in for Yabusele. And Morris subbed in for Tatum. Here's Brown. 6 points for him. And the wide open shot from Morris. Pass to Rozier. Out to Morris. There's the triple. Rebounded by Kaminsky. Kaminsky's got his 3rd rebound tonight. Over in the corner, Lamb. Kaminsky kicks to Monk. He dishes it to Walker. It's stolen by Brown. Morris right side. Over Monk. Again the miss by Morris.
Well, look, his teammates are going to stop giving him the ball if he keeps taking shots like that.
Lamb with the ball. He's got 7. Now Hernangomez. Shot clock at 6. A chance there to push it to double digits, but it's off the mark. They've been looking out of sync offensively.
Yeah, their offense has ground to a standstill.
Lamb dishes to Walker. They swipe it. Here's Morris. The Hornets pull it in. Gomez has got his 3rd rebound on the night.
A frustrating start to this quarter for him.
Feeds to Lamb. Now the pass to Gomez. And Walker kicks to Gomez. Now here's Monk. He's got 6. Here's Kaminsky. And they force the shot clock violation. Great D. Now let's take a look at how the shots have been divided up between 3-point shots and 2-point shots for the Hornets.
Hey, this is a high-powered offense today. Clicking on all cylinders, making things happen, and also good use of the 3-ball. Just enough to keep the defense off balance.
Celtics trail by 9. Here's Rozier. He has 5. The dish to Baines. Morris a screen. Brown wide open. He fires. Good on the 3-point shot. Brown's got his 3rd basket of the night right there. Charlotte has gotten going here in the second half from outside, nailing 3 of 4 from the arc. And it's rare for rookies to come into the NBA ready at the defensive end. But you know what, C-Web? Jaylen Brown already more than solid.
Well, yeah, I mean, he has a great frame. He plays physical. He's in a great system, and he wants it. He'll only get better with time.
So it's the Celtics now. Celtics shooting 42% from the field here in the 3rd. There's the pick. Rozier kicks to Morris. To the middle. Here's Baines. And he was kicked in the lane there, and he gets the 3-second call.
Let's take a quick look now at some stats for Lamb. How last month turned out for him. He's averaging 11 points a game, 3 rebounds, and 2 assists. And the numbers won't wow you, but I like the effort he brings to the table each and every night.
Yeah, he hustles, does the little things, just a good complimentary guy who you need on your team.
And the Hornets call time here. And with sponsors coming to NBA jerseys this season, Hornets fans have to be pleased with their initial sponsor. Makes perfect sense when an owner also owns a shoe brand.
Well, yeah, and Brand Jordan as the owner sponsor just made too much sense. You like how seamless and unobtrusive it's been. If you have to have a jersey sponsor, you can do a lot worse than the Hornets.
Charlotte making a switch here. Hornets leading by 6. From down in the low post, it goes. Lamb's got 5 points in the quarter.
And after really leaning on that 3-point shot in the first half, seeming like they're just getting away from it here in the second. More of the shots coming from the interior.
Here's Brown. Gomez grabs the miss.
He's got to be wondering, how did he miss that? I mean, he had all the space in the world.
Now here's Lamb. He's guarded closely. The lead pushed to double digits. Lamb's got 11.
And they're forcing the ball inside, and it's working like a charm.
Larkin, the pass to Ojale. He feeds it to Larkin. The screen from Brown. Larkin kicks to Brown. Pass to Ojale. Just 5 on the clock. That one doesn't drop. And the Hornets now going the other way. And here is Lamb. 11 points in the game. They set the screen to the left side wing. And Zeller kicks to Gomez. The jump hook. This is to Graham. Charlotte moving it around. Kicks it to Zeller. And there's the feed to Graham. Pass to Bacon. Expanding his range. And Boston with the rebound. Last time they met was in Charlotte, where they beat the Hornets.
And in the last face-off against these guys, they enjoyed a huge advantage in free throw percentage. Their three-point percentage has taken a big leap here in this second half.
Graham with the ball. He kicks it to Lamb. And they come right back with their own three-pointer. Lamb's got the lead, back up to 10 now for the Hornets. And so it's Charlotte going into the break with a 10-point lead. From beyond the arc, they've been absolutely tremendous. And we've got more NBA action on 2K Sports coming your way after this break. Now let's listen into the huddle of Brad Stevens.
Piece by piece, chip away. See if you can't, next time we get together, have it down a few.
Brad Stevens reminding his guys you still have time to get where you want to be. Just take it one possession at a time.
Well, he wants them to relax. I mean, there are going to be ups and downs over the course of a game. Just breathe and play.
3 quarters in the books, folks. Glad to have you with us. Welcome back as we get going. Horford is out there with Greg Monroe. Then it's Kyrie Irving. Then there's Shane Larkin. And it's Morris in at the small forward position. That's who's in the game for the Celtics.
And they've got a big lead, not just on the scoreboard, but really in the rebounding numbers as well.
Now here's Batum following the miss by Kyrie Irving. A shot by Batum, no good. Outside Irving to the inside, and the dunk by Horford.
That's just outstanding awareness from Irving right there. Remarkable at finding his guys when they're wide open.
Now here's Lamb, covered by Irving. Howard dishes to Lamb. Back to Howard. And fouled on the shot, so the bucket counts and a chance for one more here.
Outstanding presence of mind. Howard is as dependable as he gets near the rim.
Marcus Smart's checked in for Shane Larkin.
One shot, gentlemen.
Free throw no good for Howard. One thing that I think many players and certainly many other coaches, Chris, in the NBA love about Steve Clifford is his brutal honesty. He will pull no punches with you.
Yeah, reporters just can't throw cliche phrases at him during the press conferences, or he'll dismantle him. The frankness he has with the media and players is one reason players like playing for him.
Now here's Lamb. Greg Monroe unable to get his shot to go. Lamb passes to Howard. And the layup is good after a nice lead pass. Howard's got 12 points in just the second half.
Well, it's nice to have an option like him every time down the court.
Screen by Monroe. Morris kicks to Irving. Over Lamb. Offensive rebound. Monroe. Great D that time from Batum.
And with the success they've had rebounding the basketball, they're right where you'd expect them to be, firmly in the driver's seat.
Now Lamb. Howard with a screen on Irving. Here's Lamb, and Lamb slams it home.
An evolution to Lamb's game, putting the ball on the deck, taking it aggressively to the rack.
Fourth quarter of play, and we're about 2.5 minutes through it right now. They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for sure.
Morris outside, passes it to Horford. Over Zeller. Boston, no good that time either.
You got to give the D credit there. It affected him. He didn't have much room to get the shot off.
Now here's Lamb. He's guarded closely. Howard kicks to Lamb. Hit his leg. And the official saying it was kicked. Tatum, he's checked in for the Celtics. Third minute of action now gone here in the fourth. Batum for three, and Tatum pulls it down. Celtics trail by 14. He dishes it to Irving. Inside, and stolen by Howard. And a fast break now for the Hornets. Kid Gilchrist, the pass to Howard. And he overdid it there. Too much force, it looked like, on the foul, and he's called for the flagrant.
And Kevin, I got to tell you, he's probably fortunate to just get a flagrant one there. I mean, so much contact. The officials easily could have gone even harder on him.
Greg, I agree. He better be on his best behavior from now on. One more flagrant of any variety, and he's out of here.
Now, gentlemen, two shots. Two shots.
And the first one at the line is good. And Chris, you were the #1 overall draft pick back in 1993. We've seen a lot of greats taken with that pick, but it also seems that those #1 picks who aren't as successful face a lot of pressure, a lot of criticism. There's a lot on your plate to handle. Can you talk about that for us?
Yeah, there's a lot of pressure for some players being the #1 pick. But I've always laughed and I've thought about, players that maybe people say maybe they were a bust, maybe this player wasn't good. Well, I think you should go back and look at the GM that picked them. I mean, the GM is the guy that assesses talent, So when there were a few players that were picked #1, and many players said, "What are you doing? We've played against him. We would never pick him #1." So before that, I think the NBA is about opportunity and situation. Look at a guy like Chauncey Billups. He went to Boston. He didn't do well at Boston. They called him a malcontent, said he couldn't play, and then he ended up being one of the best leaders that the game had. And so this game is all about situation and opportunity. Can you find the right fit? That's why if you're a player, you can't let frustration get to you. You have to continue to work hard, continue to prove your game, because when you play, you're auditioning for the other teams in the league as well. They're saying, wait a minute, we see his unique talent, skills, and we see his unique skill set, and we could use him. And so many times you just have to wait for the right position in the right situation.
That free throw good from Kyrie Irving. And Kyrie Irving very steady with the ball in his hands. Not a lot of turnovers for a player who handles the ball as much as he does.
Yeah, I mean, he makes great reads. Pick and roll, drives, kicks. He keeps his dribble low, but sometimes he has his dribble high. He's great at the pocket passes, great off pick and rolls, great at screens, and can space the floor.
And so Irving nails both of them. We've played just over 3.5 minutes now in the fourth quarter. Outside, Walker, and there's the pass to Batum. Screened by Howard. Stolen by Smart. Here's Irving. The shot missing. Now Charlotte takes it the other way. Lobbed up there for Howard. Oh, and they get in the way of the alley-oop. Not to be. Good play defensively. Looking to get back on track here. Got a piece of it.
And registering one of the highest verticals at the NBA Combine, Zeller can send your shot back.
Now here's Walker. Howard with a screen on Irving. Walker's shot is off.
Just the presence of the D in the lane is enough to make him short arm that layup.
Tatum kicks to Irving. Feeds to Monroe. From down in the low post, it goes.
Yeah, heads-up aggressive play right there. Saw the smaller man on him and took it straight to the basket.
Screen by Howard. Here's Batum. In the corner, it's Kid Gilchrist. Back to Batum. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Here's Howard. And it's good with time running down on the shot clock. Howard's got 8 here in the quarter.
A little bit of a throwback evening for Howard. Has all of his moves working here tonight.
Time called here. The Celtics decide to talk it over.
Well, and the Celtics bringing in Brad Stevens as head coach in 2013. That same summer, they made their blockbuster trade with the Nets. 2 home run moves for their franchise.
And the Celtics signed Brad Stevens to a 6-year contract to lure him away from Butler in college basketball. Chris, they were very confident he'd be a great coach.
Well, they might want to pull out their pen and have him sign another 6-year deal real quick because he's already established himself as one of the league's top coaches.
Charlotte making a switch here. Kaminsky's checked in, and let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Hey, Kevin. Well, look, here's what Brad Stevens went over with his guys during the break. He said, "Do you want this game? Don't tell me about it. Show me and show your teammates. We've got to play better, and we've got to play harder if we're going to come back." Guys.
Thank you, David. Now, here's Batum. Marcus Smart missing that last shot. Screen by Howard. There's a screen. Off the pick. In the corner, it's Kid Gilchrist. Sinks the triple. And the Hornets lead by 15.
And the confidence from Kid Gilchrist, absolutely no hesitation shooting off the pass.
Walker against Irving. He gets it in there.
They're scoring boatloads of buckets. It's raining buckets from inside.
Walker against Irving. Screen by Howard. Batum dishes to Howard. Outside, Walker. Takes a 3. Good D by Irving. Celtics trail by 13. And here is Tatum. The tray. Irving can't get it to go.
It's a +5 advantage for them in rebounding after that one.
Walker against Irving. Stolen away. Nice job to interrupt the alley-oop attempt there. And pushing it up, here's Boston. Tatum leading the charge.
And how about the quick hands there by Tatum? Terrific anticipation as he comes up with that steal and able to convert that defense into offense.
Now here's Walker. The dish now to Howard. Outside, Kid Gilchrist. For the 3. And Tatum pulls it down. Tatum's got 4 rebounds in this game. He feeds it to Irving. Pass to Tatum. Dishes it to Monroe. They set the pick. Clock at 4. Over Howard. And it's off the back rim. No good. Charlotte leading by 11. Outside, Walker. Kicks to Kaminsky. Back to Walker. Pass to Kaminsky. Shot to stop the drought. That falls. Nice feed that time from Walker. Walker's got assist number 7 for him tonight. Boston shooting a paltry 33% in the 4th. Not a good showing for this offense. Screen by Monroe. Irving with it. And it's sent back by Howard.
You got to be aware of Howard at all times, especially on defense where he makes his living blocking shots.
Now Walker. Howard setting the pick for Walker. From deep. And no good. So the Celtics will take it the other way. And there's the foul. It's on Nicholas Batum. That'll be his 2nd foul of the game. Time called here. The Celtics decide to talk it over.
Well, the one thing you notice about the Celtics, they look for players with a chip on their shoulder. They want players with that inner fire, that love competition.
And you look up and down the Celtics roster, Chris, a lot of guys who play with a chip on their shoulder.
Well, that's how you build a culture. It rubs off on the other players. I mean, you have to find those guys, though. It's not something you can teach.
And now we've got a moment for our Jordan Player of the Game, Dwight Howard.
And he's just been crushing it from the field tonight, Kevin. Whether it's been on open looks or with the guy draped all over him, he just hadn't missed much. With his percentage in the sky-high range, they've had no choice but to make him their #1 option on every trip.
He's been their pulse tonight, the player who's guided them to the win, and it's a win they needed coming off a loss in their last one. Irving double team. The feed to Monroe. Right wing. Now here's Smart, defended by Batum. Smart misses.
Decent attempt at the rim right there, just simply off right now.
Irving against Walker. Uses the glass to finish the layup. Walker's got 23.
Walker is so adept at running these pick and rolls. He has a feel for when to pass and when to let it fly.
Here's Irving, and he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. That's on Dwight Howard.
While some are still speculating as to why Kyrie wanted out, the reality is, and it's this case with all great players, he feels like he's good enough to be the man on a team that can contend for a championship. And you might question how he went about it, but he's basically been a pro in his approach, and now he's got the chance.
The first free throw is good.
And there is going to be a lot of discussion over Irving's decision to want out for a long time. And what he does the next few years may end up defining his legacy. He is all in on himself, and it could pay off huge or fizzle out.
And so Irving nails both of them.
And once he gets into a groove like that, you can just count him.
Hornets leading by 14. Screen by Howard. Irving with the steal. He kicks it to Tatum. And slam dunk by Tatum.
Man, and Tatum gets up on these alley-oops, has a great grasp of when to attack and exploit the opponent.
Great way to see the alley-oop. That replay courtesy of Under Armour. Another Unleash Chaos moment. And Batum kicks to Walker. Howard in the post, working on Horford. Howard, that's good. Howard's got 18 points just in the second half.
Oh, the second half, he's been accurate and prolific at the same time.
Now here's Smart. Picked by Horford. And on the way from Irving for three. Good, and Smart gets the assist. And that's 21 points for Kyrie Irving. For Charlotte, they've gone 8 of 14 from the floor here in the fourth quarter. Howard with a screen on Irving, and it's Walker penetrating, and he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for two.
Now, you can't tell me Walker is not one of the most fearless penetrators in the league. The D sometimes has no chance but to foul him hard.
Shooting two.
That's good from Kemba Walker.
Well, the book on Kemba Walker used to be that you could stay behind the screens, not work that hard, duck behind them because he wasn't going to do anything special. Well, he's worked on that, and he's fixed it, and it's paid off. We've seen his field goal percentage fly up in recent years, and that also means his ankle breaker moves have come up because now you have to respect his jump shot, and his ball handles some of the best in the NBA.
That's also good, so he hits both free throws. And part of the jump for Kembe has been his shot. But it also, Chris, seems that he plays within himself, I think, a lot more now. He used to force the offense, but now is much more patient.
Well, yeah, he's done a great job in addressing the weaknesses he's had in this game. He's a complete point guard. That's what a leader does for their team, and he is the leader of that locker room.
6 to shoot. Here's Tatum. And the shot falls short this time.
He may have missed it, but that's a clean look at the basket.
Outside, Batum. Pass to Kaminsky. Inside, and stolen by Horford. Here's Smart. The shot's good on the assist by Horford.
Off the dribble, Smart showing the body control on that shot.
And the Hornets with possession here. About 3 seconds between shot and game clock. And Kid Gilchrist kicks to Walker. Screened by Howard. Walker against Irving. Irving with the steal. Floats one, and it's sent back by Howard. So no problem for Charlotte as they get the win. They came in here and took care of business like they were the home team.
And Kevin, how about the mental toughness that this group showed? They were never rattled at all by the opposing fans.
It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Kevin, thank you. Michael, the key to this game for the team tonight?
It was just a team effort. You know, we moved the ball on defense. We were trying to help everybody out and be in the right spots all the time, and we were able to come up with the win.
Part of a rebuilding team here, Michael. Thank you for your time. Back to you, Kevin.
David, thank you as always. And that about wraps it up. For Chris Webber, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.